Barely the 80s. The chair recognizes Alderman Knudsen.
As a point of information, I didn't see the 80s either. I'm 1990. It's my biggest regret, not seeing the 80s. Also, following up Alderman Mosley, I have no good pizza analogy, and that's going to weaken my speech. I want to start with something just that Alderman Taylor said. As we've all been shuffling around these past 6 weeks that feel like we packed in months, we had some great loss. Miss Sharon Munson on the third floor was someone who was so kind. And I know City Hall staff is really grieving while they're working hard. And my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to her family. She gave the best hugs. My first office a year ago was just past her desk. She really was helpful with me, not ever remembering my key and teaching me where things were, and just such a kind person, and so heartbreaking to have her loss. I also want to, say again, the loss of the firefighter this week, Drew Price. Drew served in my ward, Engine 55, Truck 44, lived in Ruth Cruz's ward, and it's just heartbreaking. It's the ultimate sacrifice, and my heart goes out to the family. Final thanks before I make a few budget points. Director Guzman, amazing job. You've been approachable throughout this whole process. IGA, I'm going to miss talking to you all really late at night all the time. And who knows, in a few weeks, it's probably going to happen again. But you're all working so hard, and just appreciate it really greatly. I want to say at the outside of this budget, we really asked for a budget out of our ward that invests in public safety. That means so many different things to different people. And I'm voting yes on this budget because I think the approach to public safety is dynamic. And as Alderman Burnett said, holistic. This budget invests in the police, but it also invests in community safety, violence intervention, youth programs, and youth jobs. It does so in a way that looks to civilianization. These are jobs coming into the CPD, the police department, that we have an easier time filling. And they free up our officers, they de-stress our officers to do the work that they're tasked to do, that hopefully will help us see increased patrol, the route to beat integrity in our wards. We do so with the pathway to 200 detective jobs, increasing the clearance rate, making sure that we see justice where justice is fit. I also want to say something parallel to civilianization is a goal of treatment, not trauma, that we're looking into, and it's the end of the co-response model to mental health calls. We talked to Superintendent Snelling on his way in about his belief in that, and I feel like his appointment was the first investment in public safety in this administration. And I'm so happy that mental health response calls are going to be responded to through specialists that are specifically trained to handle these jobs. The Department of the Environment, Chairwoman Haddon and I think have a lot of goals for environmental policy, making sure that we as a city really invest in the innovative environmental hub that we can be and need to be going forward for our duty to fulfill to the whole world, but also acknowledging that we're connected to Lake Michigan, a massive freshwater lake source, and we will be the hub for climate migrants in decades to come. We have to look at these innovative jobs. And in doing so, we have to knock off some low-hanging fruit in environmental policy. We've got to electrify things like snow blowers and leaf blowers. We've got to look at anti-idling. We've got to look into decarbonization. And setting up a Department of Environment gives us the staff infrastructure to do so. I also want to say, on the note of no property tax increase, I think some aldermen have made very valid points about, hoping that this doesn't just kick a revenue can down into the future. As we make sure that doesn't happen, I think ways we really need to lean in: tourism, the business community, natural sources of growth revenue in our city that looking into the next few months, we've got to foster. Those are ways that advertise Chicago worldwide and create natural revenue for us. Us leading into that is how we avoid coming back to ask for more property tax increases, which none of us want to do. I want to give a final thanks, to all of our local staffs are working so hard. We have had a lot of counsel lately, and I know everyone's excited to get back to their wards and really show that at the core of this job, serving as an alderperson, is getting results done in your ward. And this budget also sets us up to better do that. It's not a small thing. Cranes has written about this quite a bit, how our offices are not necessarily set up for success because we are very lean. We have hardworking staffs that work beyond regular working hours, just like so many mentioned here today. And we need to get things done for our community or else we have no business being here. This additional staff person frees up places in a lot of our expense budgets to invest in technology, to even make it a sweeter deal in getting results done for our communities. I strongly believe that's at the core of this job, and I don't think that that piece of this budget can be overlooked. So that being said, I'm a yes on this budget vote. I appreciate really everyone noted and you, Mayor, for bringing this forward. And now it's time to get back to our wards and get to work. So thank you.